What's up, gardeners? It's Ricky Jones Jr. coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. I'm excited about this video because it's gonna help you become a better gardener. Let's go! What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 How y'all doing, great people? Boy, I tell you so much. It's so much fun enacting like Mr. James Prigioni. You know, shouts out to you guys, sir, until I meet you in person, okay? I just have to emulate you and act like you, okay? But nonetheless, in this video, we're going to be talking about how the sun is so important about where you plant your garden, where you put your garden, and where you ultimately garden, okay? So, long story short, my home faces north, okay? So, obviously, south is behind me, east is to the right, west is that way, or west is that way. And so, you know, with the garden itself, let me just go to the front of the whole garden situation. I have everything laid out according to that cardinal direction. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a meteorologist or anything like that when you do gardening, but I will say you do need to be aware of your cardinal directions as it pertains to where you are and how you are facing your garden, largely because, for those that do not know, we are going to know that the sun rises from the east and it sets in the west, okay? And I'm literally doing it the way it does it in my garden, okay? And so with that being said, you do want to lay out your garden with that in mind, largely because you do want the majority of your plants to get that morning sun going all the way down, right? You do want that whole situation because you want at least 6 hours of sun that your vegetables and that your plants and your crops and things like that do receive, whichever way that you decide to grow. Like we already did a video on raised beds, on grow bags, and 5-gallon buckets. If those are the ways in which you are looking to grow, go ahead, check that video out so you have an understanding on that. Nonetheless, from east to west, now that is important. If I was facing south, I would do things backwards than the way that I've already done them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so walking you down the situation where my raised beds are, I have my taller plants, which currently are tomato plants, which I have a whole trellis that I built for them. I have my tomato plants on the north side of my raised beds, even just to show you more respectfully like this. Okay, boom. On the north side, which is the farther side, I have my tomato plants, my taller plants, the ones that needs the trellis or just the taller ones in general, okay? Largely because the sun, like I said, from the east to the west, you don't want the sun to be blocked by your taller plants, okay? Because if your taller plants are blocking the sun from the rest of your plants within your raised beds or things like that, it will stunt their growth or not allow for them to grow at all, okay? So you do want to make sure they are not blocked. Another thing that you don't want to do is having your taller plants on the east side of your whatever area in which you're growing. Even if your whole garden situation is facing east, you don't want your taller plants to be on the east side. And what you do want them to be on is your west side, which I have my other taller plants on my keyhole raised bed situation growing along there, which is my tomatoes, some more tomatoes. But nonetheless, I have my, so what you want to do is when growing, have your taller plants on either the west side or the north side of your garden, whichever way that looks like, because like I said, if my home was facing south, then it would be reciprocated like so, and I would have my taller plants on this side, which then would be the north side, and I will have my taller plants on the west side. However, like I said, I am facing north, so I have it positioned accordingly. Now, what you can do if you have an Apple device, I don't know about Androids, but Apple does have a compass app that you can pull out and, you know, directionally see where you are and be able to know which direction that you are. Now, I'm not asking you to know so many things about the sun, but that is something very important that you do want to know, that may be the very reason why your things aren't growing, your plants aren't growing, your vegetables aren't growing, your crops aren't growing the way you may think they should or want them to grow, because they're just in the wrong area, they're in the wrong direction, and they're not going to grow to its full potential and capability because of the orientation or the direction in which they are planted as it pertains to the sun, right? And then two, your taller plants, they're going to grow. they're gonna grow, they're gonna take over as far as the sun is concerned. They're gonna take over and block, because like your collards, your kale and things like that, those are leafy greens that are thick, and those thick leafy greens will not allow for the sun to come through and saturate the other plants and things behind it, as you may, or as you do need them to. So you do want to make sure that they aren't blocking what needs, which is the sun, to get to the beans and the asparagus and other things, arugula and things that you may be growing as well. Those things matter. Also, you do want to make sure that wherever you are growing is not in a shaded area, because shady areas do not yield the same harvest potential that unshady areas do. Now, there are levels to it, right? You don't want all sun where it's getting like 12 hours of sun, but you don't want little sun where it's getting like 2 or 3 hours of sun a day. Something in between, like I said, 6 hours. 6 hours will do. Now, you may be wondering, how do I know how much sun is being saturated in a given area? Well, you can just pay attention to the ground itself. I did a video a long time ago where you can just look at the ground, look at the given ground that you are walking on, and see how the grass is growing. Is the grass growing well, luscious and green, or is it not growing as much? Well, the areas in which it is growing and it's growing well are your areas in which are getting an ample amount of sun. The areas where it's like sandy and dirty and, you know, it's just best to mulch, those are the areas that aren't getting the most sun now, which is usually the case in front of like homes where there's an area in which is mulch, and then an area where there's grass, largely because the area where it's mulch is not getting an adequate amount of sun to grow grass, right? It's not all looks, it's some functionality to it. But nonetheless, that's usually how it goes. So that is a telltale sign as well, why you may not be able to grow as close to your home as you may want to or look to, because it's not getting enough sunlight, okay, to get to the plant. So you know, real quick, that is something that I do want to let us all know about, as we are starting gardens and different things in the new year of 2022, or whatever year this finds to you. Keep all those things in mind, because it will help you and it will make a difference between something and a garden that grows well, or a garden that does not prosper as you so desire for it to do, right? So keep all those things in mind. Keep all those concerns and thoughts in mind, and always let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. You can always let me know by way of email. You can let me know on Instagram. You can let me know on Twitter. You can let me know on Facebook. I'm here for you all. I'm here to help you all, because I do want us all to have successful to thriving gardens in this year, whichever way and method in which we choose, be it raised beds, be it 5-gallon buckets, be it grow bags, be it in the ground. You know, if you have a successful garden in the ground, whichever way you choose to grow, know that we are here to help you do so. Now, my beautiful daughter just arrived, so I think we're gonna just allow for her to say hello to everybody. Right, you want to say hello to the people?
Hi, guys.
We're talking about gardening and starting a garden in 2022. Any advice you have for them?
Yes.
Yes. What is it?
Our potatoes are growing big and strong.
Okay. And how does that help them?
By seeds.
Okay. Well, let the people know bye-bye. Tell them you happy for them.
I'm happy if you didn't know let go of me.
Okay. All right, great people. So if you have anything that you have, let me know. I'll be here to answer it, and we'll just have fun, okay? We'll have fun doing what we do, which is gardening, growing, and eating healthy. Until next time, peace.